In life, there will always be noise, external chatter, expectations, comparisons, opinions. The more you listen to them, the further you drift from yourself. The path of the woman who wishes to rise, to evolve, to live in peace and power, is the path of silence and inward focus. There is a kind of strength that does not shout, does not argue, and does not demand attention. It simply is. It sits within you, unshaken by noise, untouched by drama. This is the strength of silence. For a woman on the path of growth, silence is not weakness, it is mastery. Silence is not about saying nothing, it is about knowing when to speak and, more importantly, when not to. In a world that constantly tells you to be louder, more visible, and more aggressive, the choice to remain silent can feel like rebellion. But it is not rebellion, it is self-respect. You don't need to speak every time you are challenged. You don't need to respond to every insult, correct every misunderstanding, or explain your every move. The moment you start doing that, you begin giving away pieces of yourself, your energy, your focus, your peace. A silent woman is not invisible. She is watchful. She sees everything. She observes what others miss. She listens deeply, not just to words but to tone, intention, and energy. And in that listening, she grows wise. She understands that speaking impulsively is a reaction, but remaining silent is a response born of discipline. It takes no strength to speak out of anger, to defend out of insecurity, or to react out of ego. But to remain still, to breathe, and to choose silence, that requires immense control. That is inner strength, the kind of strength that cannot be faked, the kind that only grows in solitude and self-reflection. People will misunderstand you, let them. People will underestimate you, let them. You do not need to correct them. Your life, your actions, your presence will speak loud enough in time. When you stop trying to prove yourself, you reclaim your power. When you let your work speak for itself, you rise beyond the level of argument and approval, seeking. Silence teaches you patience. It teaches you restraint. It trains you to hold your energy close until the right moment. And when that moment comes, your words will carry weight because you don't waste them. In silence, you discover that not everything needs your attention. Not every battle is yours to fight. Not every opinion is yours to absorb. You become a mirror. People show you who they are without you needing to say a word. This gives you clarity. It gives you space to decide where your energy goes and who deserves it. When you speak less, you start to hear more, not just others, but yourself. Your intuition grows louder, your thoughts become clearer, your goals sharpen. Silence also protects your dreams. Not everyone deserves to hear your plans. Not everyone clapping is cheering for you, and not everyone listening wants to see you win. Learn to build quietly, move in silence not out of fear, but out of wisdom. The seed grows best in the darkness, away from noise, away from the rush of the world. So do you. A silent woman holds the kind of power that others feel but cannot explain. She walks into a room and changes the energy without saying a word. Her calm is magnetic. Her stillness commands respect. She doesn't need attention. She commands presence through grace and focus. The world wants your reaction. It feeds on your noise, your rush, your distraction, but when you are silent, you cannot be manipulated. You see clearly, you act deliberately, and that, more than anything, makes you unstoppable. So stay silent, not because you are afraid, but because you are strong enough to choose peace over noise. Protect your energy, guard your mind, speak only when your words are rooted in truth and purpose. Because the woman who has mastered silence has already mastered herself, and the woman who has mastered herself can master anything. When a woman learns to focus only on herself, something powerful begins to happen within her. Her energy, once scattered in all directions, worrying about others, pleasing people, comparing, explaining, begins to return home. That energy gathers, sharpens, and transforms into quiet strength. Focus is not just a mental activity. It is spiritual discipline. It is the decision to withdraw your attention from the things that drain you and redirect it toward what builds you. The world constantly tries to pull you in 100 directions. It wants your attention on everything but yourself. Social media wants your attention. People's opinions want your attention. The past wants your attention. The future wants your attention. But real growth happens only when you learn to keep your focus within, on your mind, your habits, your values, your healing, your purpose. When your energy is divided, your power is diluted. You might feel busy, even exhausted, but you're not moving forward. You're reacting, not creating. But when your focus becomes singular, when you wake up with intention, when you stop needing validation, when you stop comparing your journey to someone else's, you start to become unstoppable. Focus is what transforms movement into progress. Anyone can be busy, but a focused woman moves with clarity. She doesn't chase everything. She knows what she wants, and she eliminates distractions without guilt. Focus doesn't come from having less to do. It comes from having the discipline to choose what really matters, and the courage to say no to everything else. This discipline begins with the small things. Protect your morning, choose your thoughts, control your environment, stop letting people invade your mental space. Not everyone deserves access to you. Every message doesn't need a reply. Every conversation doesn't deserve your time. Every emotion doesn't require a response. You are not rude for choosing yourself. You are not selfish for protecting your peace. You are wise because a focused woman is a powerful woman, and power often looks like stillness, boundaries, and silence. When you focus on yourself, you stop trying to fix others. You stop trying to be everything for everyone. You stop trying to live up to unrealistic expectations. You start living in alignment with your own rhythm. You recognize that you are not responsible for how others perceive your silence, your growth, or your decisions. You are responsible only for your own truth, your own evolution. Focus is a form of respect. It says, my time matters, my energy matters, my goals matter. It says, I will no longer hand over my power just to feel included or accepted. It is a sacred declaration that you will not be distracted by noise, by chaos, or by other people's opinions. This kind of focus also reveals who is truly meant for you. The people who respect your journey will never guilt you for choosing yourself. They will not be offended by your boundaries or silence. They will understand that your growth is not a threat. It is an inspiration. And if someone walks away because you chose to focus on your life, let them. You are not here to shrink yourself to be understood. You are here to rise, to build, to become who you are meant to be. Focus is what allows you to heal. When you stop giving your energy to distractions, you begin to feel everything you were avoiding, the pain, the fear, the insecurity. They come to the surface, and that's when true transformation begins. Not through avoidance, but through presence, through the willingness to sit with your own thoughts, your own wounds, your own dreams. This is not easy. It requires courage. It requires you to walk alone at times. It requires you to say no more than you say yes, but the reward is worth it, because eventually that focused energy builds something real, confidence, peace, purpose, and unshakable clarity. A focused woman does not move with urgency. She moves with precision. She does not chase people or validation. She chases discipline, progress, and peace. She is not easily provoked. She is not constantly distracted. She does not give away her attention like it's cheap. She treats her energy like gold, because it is. And so, if you want to create true power in your life, start with this. Withdraw your attention from what doesn't matter. Reclaim your energy. Redirect it toward your growth, your healing, and your purpose. That is how a woman becomes powerful, not by doing more, but by focusing only on what truly matters. There comes a moment in a woman's journey when she must realize this truth. Not everything requires an explanation. You do not need to justify your silence, your peace, your choices, or your growth to anyone. The urge to constantly explain yourself is often rooted in fear, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of being judged, the fear of losing approval. But as long as you are driven by the need to be understood, you will keep giving pieces of yourself away to people who were never meant to hold them. There is power in restraint. When you stop explaining, you begin conserving energy. You begin to honor your decisions as sacred, not as debate topics for others to evaluate. You are not living this life to satisfy the curiosity of the world. You are here to evolve, to align, and to walk your path, even if no one else can see the full picture yet. Too often, we feel we must defend our every step. Why we walked away, why we set boundaries, why we chose solitude, why we didn't respond. But in truth, wisdom does not argue with noise. It does not need validation to be real. You do not need to explain the way you protect your peace. You do not need to explain why you are no longer entertaining the same conversations, why you outgrew certain people, or why you turned down opportunities that did not feel right for your soul. There is freedom in no longer needing to be understood. It means you trust yourself. It means you no longer seek permission to follow your intuition. It means you are no longer dependent on the outside world to reflect your inner knowing. When you truly own your decisions, explanations become unnecessary. The people who are aligned with your growth won't need them. The ones who demand explanations may never truly understand, even if you give them every detail. Silence is not avoidance, it is clarity. There is a difference between hiding and choosing not to engage. When you stop explaining, you are not retreating. You are simply recognizing where your energy belongs and where it does not. Your healing does not need to be announced. Your growth does not need to be dissected. You do not need to justify your evolution to those who are committed to misunderstanding it. You are not for everyone. Not everyone will understand your journey, your timing, your decisions, or your energy. That is okay. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them create their own stories if they must. You do not have to carry the weight of their narratives. Let your actions speak. Let your peace be the evidence. Let your consistency write your story, not your explanations. The greatest strength you can show is walking away without a word. Not every goodbye needs closure. Not every ending needs a statement. There is a kind of dignity in choosing silence when noise is expected. There is grace in letting go without a fight. And there is power in not explaining yourself when others expect you to. This is not about arrogance. It is about sovereignty. It is about choosing stillness over proving. When you know yourself deeply, your values, your intentions, your purpose, you stop performing for the world. You begin to walk with calm, quiet confidence. You trust that what is meant for you will remain. You trust that the truth always rises in time. And so, you no longer feel the pressure to force others to see what you see. People don't hear your explanations anyway. They hear through their own fears, their own wounds, their own projections. So why drain yourself trying to be understood by minds that are not open? Protect your inner world? It is not for public consumption. Not everyone needs to know your next move, your full story, your reasoning. Let your life unfold naturally, without announcement. Your circle may shrink. As you evolve, your voice may soften. Not because you are becoming smaller, but because you are becoming more precise, more selective, more whole, and part of that growth is learning to stand in your truth without commentary, to hold your decisions with reverence, not defense, to move forward, not to prove something, but because it feels right, deeply, quietly, unmistakably right. You owe no one your peace, your progress, or your path. What you owe yourself is protection. Protection of your energy, protection of your clarity, protection of your freedom to live without permission. The less you explain, the more you preserve your power, and the more you preserve your power, the stronger, quieter, and more unshakable you become. There is an ancient wisdom in moving silently. The seed grows in the darkness before it ever reaches the light. The roots go deep in the unseen soil long before the tree touches the sky. In the same way, your progress, your healing, your discipline, your vision all flourish best in private, away from noise, eyes, and interference. When you move in silence, you give yourself the greatest gift, undisturbed focus. You are no longer performing for approval or external applause. You are working purely for yourself, for the woman you are becoming, for the life you are building. You no longer waste energy explaining your intentions or defending your direction. You simply walk your path, one quiet step at a time. Many lose their momentum by sharing too much too soon. Not every idea needs to be announced. Not every plan needs an audience. Some things must be protected, nurtured in silence, and watered in solitude before they're strong enough to face the world. This isn't secrecy, it's wisdom. What grows in privacy becomes more stable. What is exposed too early becomes vulnerable to doubt, judgment, and distraction. You don't owe the world an update on your every move. Progress does not require permission. Growth does not require applause. When you move in private, you free yourself from the noise of opinions, from the pressure to impress, from the fear of being seen before you're ready. You create a sacred space where the only voice that matters is your own. There is a stillness that comes from private effort, no eyes watching, no pressure to prove, just you, your work, your silence. It's in that stillness that real transformation occurs. This is where your discipline deepens. This is where your focus sharpens. This is where you develop habits not for show, but because they align with your inner truth. Silence removes distraction. It removes ego. It keeps your intentions pure. When no one knows your plan, no one can distort it. When no one knows your next step, no one can sabotage it. You become untouchable, not because you are hiding, but because you are fully committed to your own growth, without the need for recognition. The strongest moves are made in quiet. The greatest comebacks are built in silence. While others are speaking, showing, posting, you are practicing. While others seek validation, you are cultivating strength. And when the time is right, when the roots are deep, the foundation strong, the heart steady, your results will speak louder than words ever could. You don't need to prove yourself with promises. Let your life be the proof. Let your actions reveal your dedication. Let your success become the answer to every question they once asked. When people finally see you, they will not see the late nights, the sacrifices, the discipline, the silence. They will only see the result and wonder how you did it, but you will know. You will remember the days when no one clapped, yet you kept showing up. You will remember the days you wanted to quit, yet remained focused. You will remember the strength it took to stay quiet, to resist the urge to explain, to keep going even when no one understood what you were building. And that quiet knowing will be your reward. Moving in private isn't about hiding who you are. It's about protecting who you're becoming. It's about choosing to build strength in solitude rather than seek attention in weakness. It's about respecting the sacredness of your process. And when the time comes, when your preparation meets the moment, you won't have to announce your arrival. The world will see it. Your energy will say everything. So keep working, keep growing, keep evolving. In silence, don't worry if they don't see you yet. Don't explain where you're going. Don't announce what you're doing. Let your discipline be quiet. Let your consistency be your strategy. Let your results do the talking. Because when you win in public after moving in silence, that victory is deeper, stronger, and undeniable. In a world that constantly tries to provoke you, to pull you into chaos, to tempt you into reaction. Choosing peace is a radical act of strength. Peace is not passive. It is not weakness. It is not detachment or avoidance. Peace is power, a power that comes from inner mastery, from knowing yourself so deeply that nothing external can shake your center. The woman who walks in peace commands a different kind of respect, not because she is loud, but because she is unmoved. She does not react to every insult. She does not explain every boundary. She does not allow the emotions of others to disrupt her balance. Her calm is not given, it is earned, through years of choosing growth over retaliation, silence over noise, stillness over impulse. To remain peaceful in moments of conflict is not to surrender. It is to rise above. It is to understand that energy is currency, and every reaction is an investment. A peaceful woman chooses wisely where her energy flows. She knows that not every situation deserves her voice, her time, or her spirit. She recognizes that anger is expensive, drama is draining, and constant reaction is a slow form of self-destruction. When you are at peace with yourself, you stop trying to control the world around you. You stop trying to change people who refuse to grow. You stop needing closure from those who can't offer it. Peace gives you the clarity to walk away without bitterness, to say no without guilt, and to be alone without loneliness. Peace is freedom from noise, from judgment, from the endless pull of external approval. Most people are reactive. They are slaves to their emotions. One word can disturb them. One post can offend them. One delay can unravel their whole day. But a woman who values her peace becomes untouchable in a different way. She responds with intention, not impulse. She moves with wisdom, not urgency. Her energy is steady, not scattered. And because she is not easily shaken, she becomes magnetic. Peace allows you to see clearly. When your mind is calm, you can hear your intuition speak. You can think through challenges without panic. You can observe others without attachment. You can make decisions from a place of strength, not desperation. This is why peace is a superpower. It gives you a silent advantage in every situation. People may try to provoke you. Let them project, let them misunderstand, let them speak. But you do not have to match their chaos. You do not have to lower your frequency to meet theirs. Your peace is not a reaction to how others treat you. It is a reflection of how deeply you value yourself. The more you protect it, the stronger it becomes. Do not confuse peace with being passive or indifferent. A peaceful woman can set sharp boundaries. She can walk away from anything that disturbs her soul. She can speak truth when it matters, but she does so with grace, with strength, without needing to win the argument, because she knows that true power does not shout. It doesn't need to prove, it simply is. Peace also means choosing what to ignore. Not everything deserves your response. Not every comment requires your correction. Not every situation needs your presence. You are allowed to preserve your energy. You are allowed to prioritize your mental clarity. You are allowed to choose peace even when others expect war. That is not weakness. It is wisdom. The journey to inner peace is not easy. It requires deep self-awareness. It demands healing. It calls you to confront your own ego, your own wounds, your own habits of reaction. But the reward is priceless. A life where you are no longer at the mercy of everything and everyone around you. A life where you are grounded, clear, and sovereign. You do not shrink. You expand. You begin to see what truly matters. You begin to live on your terms. You stop being ruled by emotion, by fear, by insecurity. You become a woman who can be trusted, not only by others but by herself, because she has mastered the hardest skill of all, being calm in the storm, quiet in the noise, and firm in her center. Peace does not mean life becomes perfect. It means you remain steady even when it's not. And in that steadiness, you find the true essence of power, not the power to control others, but the power to not be controlled by anything outside yourself. There will come a time when you realize that no one is truly walking in your shoes. No one feels your exact emotions. No one sees the world through your precise lens, and no one is responsible for the life you're creating except you. Your journey is yours alone. It is deeply personal, uniquely timed, and completely your own to navigate. This realization can be both liberating and sobering, but once you accept it, you begin to walk differently, more intentionally, more authentically, more peacefully. Comparison is one of the quickest ways to lose yourself. You look left and right, measuring your steps against someone else's pace, someone else's milestones, someone else's appearance of success. But what you're seeing is only a fraction of their reality. You don't see the battles behind their smiles, the confusion behind their confidence, or the sacrifices beneath their victories, and they do not see yours. So to compare is to dishonor the sacredness of your own unfolding. No two women are meant to bloom in the same season, in the same way, or under the same light. Your lessons will come at the time that you are ready for them. Your opportunities will arrive when your character is strong enough to carry them. Your healing will begin the moment you stop asking why it's taking so long and start trusting the process instead. There's great strength in walking alone, not in isolation, but in self-alignment. It's the strength of not needing to be understood, not needing company to feel complete, not needing approval to move forward. When you truly accept that your path doesn't require explanation, it stops being lonely and starts becoming sacred. You don't feel left behind because you trust your timing. You don't feel unseen because you see yourself clearly. You stop chasing what was never meant for you, and instead, you begin to attract what aligns with your truth. Others may not understand your silence, your distance, your priorities. Let them. You do not need to adjust your path to make others comfortable. You are not here to meet their expectations. You are here to become who you were born to be. And that becoming often happens in solitude, in those quiet moments when no one is cheering, when the world is moving fast and you're forced to slow down. That's where strength is built. That's where clarity is born. People will come and go. Some will walk beside you for a while, then take another road. Some will try to pull you off your path entirely, and some will stay in your life but never understand your journey. That's okay, they don't need to. You're not walking to be seen. You're walking to become, to evolve, to reach a version of yourself that only you can imagine and only you can build. It's tempting to want to be understood, to have someone nod and say, "I see you, I get it." But true freedom is found when you realize that your journey does not require validation. It only requires courage, the courage to keep going when it's hard, the courage to trust the unknown, the courage to listen to your inner voice over the noise of the world. When you stop trying to walk someone else's path and commit fully to your own, your energy changes. You begin to move with intention, with peace, with power. You stop rushing. You stop performing. You begin to breathe deeper. You begin to live slower, but stronger. You realize that not everything is supposed to happen fast. Some things take time, some things take patience, and some things are shaping you even when it feels like nothing is happening at all. You don't owe anyone progress they can see. You only owe yourself progress that feels real. Progress that brings you peace, progress that is aligned with who you truly are, not who the world expects you to be. That is the essence of a true journey, not a race to impress, but a return to self. Your journey is yours alone. It will look different. It will feel different. And that's not just okay, it's the point. You are not here to follow a path. You are here to create one. You are not here to explain every step. You are here to take them boldly, quietly, faithfully. And as you do, you'll discover that the most important companion on this journey was never someone else. It was always you. There is a rare and sacred kind of strength that doesn't flinch in chaos, doesn't waver in uncertainty, and doesn't collapse under pressure. This is what it means to be unshakable, not hard, not cold, not invulnerable, but deeply rooted in who you are. A woman becomes unshakable not because life is easy, but because she has trained herself to stand firm when it is not. Becoming unshakable begins within. It is not about controlling what happens around you. It is about mastering what happens inside of you. Life will test you through loss, betrayal, disappointment, and delay. People will challenge your peace, your boundaries, your voice. But through all of it, you have a choice: to react or to remain grounded, to collapse or to rise, to be ruled by emotions or to observe them with clarity and discipline. An unshakable woman doesn't avoid pain. She feels it fully, but she does not allow it to define her. She honors her emotions, but she doesn't become a prisoner to them. Her strength is not loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It is silent, centered, calm. She doesn't need the world to understand her to move forward. She doesn't need perfect conditions to keep going. She carries her peace with her, even in the middle of the storm. To become unshakable is to develop mental stillness. It's to train your mind like a warrior trains her body, with repetition, patience, and discipline. You must become aware of your thoughts, your habits, and your triggers. You must stop outsourcing your stability to things you can't control. Other people's moods, external validation, the pace of life. Your power returns the moment you realize that you control your response, and therefore your reality. Discipline is essential, not the kind that is harsh and punishing, but the kind that is loving and consistent. It's in the way you wake up early to meet yourself before the noise of the world begins. It's in the way you say no to things that drain your energy, even if they once felt comfortable. It's in the way you speak kindly to yourself when you fall, and the way you rise again, not with shame but with intention. The unshakable woman is not perfect. She does not have all the answers. She does not avoid struggle. But she keeps showing up. She keeps choosing growth. She keeps holding herself with quiet authority. She knows that everything outside her is temporary, but everything she builds within herself, trust, her peace, her awareness, is eternal. You do not become unshakable overnight. It is built in the small moments, in choosing silence over unnecessary reaction, in choosing your purpose over temporary comfort, in choosing discipline over distraction. It is built each time you face fear and still take the next step, each time you are misunderstood and still stay rooted in your truth, each time the ground beneath you shakes and you choose to breathe instead of panic. Others may not understand your calm. They may mistake your quiet confidence for coldness. They may call your boundaries walls. Let them. You are not here to be easily understood. You are here to become deeply aligned. And alignment often means not bending to what is popular, easy, or comfortable. It means staying true to your path, even when it's lonely, especially when it's lonely. To become unshakable is to stop chasing peace and start becoming it. It is to realize that no one else is coming to save you, that the answers you're looking for are already within, that the life you want will not come from noise, rush, or approval, but from silence, presence, and truth. This kind of strength doesn't need armor. It needs awareness. It needs clarity. It needs intention. People who are grounded in themselves do not chase. They attract. They do not force. They allow. They do not fear change. They flow with it, because they trust that no matter what happens around them, they will remain rooted, that no matter what they lose, they will never lose themselves. So keep walking. Keep choosing stillness. Keep training your mind and returning to your breath. With every challenge, let your foundation grow deeper. With every storm, let your inner fire burn stronger, until one day, no matter what comes, your peace remains. And in that stillness, in that unshakable presence, you will find the kind of power that nothing and no one can take away.